because I want you to be able to see the show notes. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining. Thanks, everyone, for coming in. Good morning. Everybody answer that poll question that I have up there. Just a quick question about if you live close to either of those places. So far, it's a strike out. Good morning, Broken by Design. How are you this morning? I am so sad that I couldn't find that piece of fabric. I love when I can find something. Good morning, Broken and Country Roads and Bargain Bonanza. Me, Casa. Lavina Jeep is here. Gone Jack. Jack in line? Gone Jack in line. Welcome. Everybody answer that poll question. We're striking out so far. I do have a reason why I'm asking that. Hey, PJ's Patchwork, welcome in. How are you today? Who did I miss? So many awesome people. Lovely Pinto's here. Emma Luna's mom is here. Hey, how are you? Shipping Supplies is here. Resell Mama is here. Clark and Son. Shop Miller. Christine's here. Shop Mile. Repeat. Oh, Shop Smile. Oh, it took me a minute. WMB Mom, welcome. Sam, I was. Thanks, everyone, for joining. Please answer the poll question. I have 2 yeses. All right, you 2 yeses. There's something important that I'm going to share. Do I have any of those needles for sewing paper? I think I'm out of those, but I'll look because I might have at least one left. If I do, I'll message you. How's everyone today? We're talking shop today. So everyone answer that poll question real quick, and then I'm going to get it out of the way and tell you why I asked. Okay. So let's get started. Today we are doing the Whatnot Community Support Seller Chat, and we're going to be giving away Whatnot keychain, lanyards, black or yellow, and I also have some Whatnot stickers that I'm going to give away, and I'm going to start that giveaway right now. Whatnot stickers. Here we go. Everybody get in the giveaway. This is a Whatnot sponsored giveaway, so they gave us the lanyards and the stickers, so no reason not to enter. Everybody get in, and then we'll run these giveaways in a few minutes. So this is for a set of 3 logoed Whatnot vinyl stickers. They're really cool ones that you can put on water bottles and other things. So everybody get in for that. Okay, I've got 8 people who live within 2 hours of Tampa, Florida, or Scottsdale, Arizona. A, you're dang lucky. Nice weather. B, let's tell you why. So I'm going to get rid of the poll so that it's not in the way and we can see the show notes. Okay, so why did I ask about that? If you open your show notes and scroll all the way down, there are 2 in-person Whatnot meet and greets coming up really soon. 29th, Tampa, Florida, hosted by Paul, none other than Philly Flipper. And Thursday, the 3rd of April in Scottsdale, hosted by Victoria Glenn, who is West Coast Shop. And so if you live within driving distance of those in-person meetups, you would want to go. It's for sellers. They're going to feed you. They're going to give you some Whatnot swag. In Scottsdale, you're going to get to meet some actual employees of Whatnot. They're going to be awesome. So the link to get an invitation is there in the show notes. And so copy and paste that. Well, I don't think you can copy and paste it. But message me if you think you can make it to one of those, and I'll send you the link, and you can attend one of those in person Whatnot meet and greets. They're awesome. We did one here in Utah at the beginning of February. So much fun, so informative, very interesting. You get some swag, you get to meet some other sellers. Make it happen if you can make it happen. Definitely worth attending. So, yeah, and if you want to fly in, let me know. I'll send you the link. So, yeah, Tampa and Scottsdale, Phoenix area. All right. So, let's get started. Message me for sure if you think you could possibly attend. Take a screenshot. They don't make the links in there clickable. They're working on that. But yeah, if you can make it to one of those, message me and I will get the link to you to RSVP for that. All right, is everybody in for the stickers? Get in that giveaway, you guys. Someone's going to get Whatnot stickers. Sponsored giveaway. This is not a show where you need to feel obligated to buy anything. Sponsored by Whatnot. And so everybody getting that giveaway for Whatnot logoed stickers. They're super cool. And we're also going to do some giveaways for keychain lanyards. All right, our topic today is how do you get people in your shows and how do you get them to stay? That's what we're going to talk about today. I am not 100% the expert, but I'm going to tell you some of the people who are and talk about the things that you can do to try and improve getting people into your shows and getting them to stay there. I sell in kind of a niche category, and usually about the max we can possibly get into our show at any given time is about 100, 150 in our category. That's tough to do. So if you're in a category where you can get hundreds of people and maybe thousands of people, how do you do that and how do you keep them in your show? All right, so let's talk about it. And yeah, 36 seconds, that giveaway is going to draw. All right, I have a couple of examples of things that I want to share with you about. I sell in the category of fabric and crafting. So I sell mostly fabric to quilters, sewers, crafters, and then I do shows where we sell craft supplies. So it's kind of a niche category, but we love our category. We're a tight-knit group, and we are fierce and faithful and everything about what we sell. And someone just won those stickers. Who's it going to be? Sassa Mom, congrats. You just got this set of cool vinyl stickers. Congrats. Those are coming to you. Woo, woo. All right. So what can you do? Well, Whatnot has put together a document, and I have the link for it in the show notes. And it's the very first thing in there, and you're going to have to like screenshot that to be able to go there because they didn't make it a clickable link yet, but they're working on it. If you want the actual clickable link, message me and I can put it in the messages. Also, I do have this document in my auction tab. So if you'll go into the auction tab, you can see it, but I'm going to pin it right now. It is a document called Attracting and Keeping Buyers, and it has a lot of tips and tricks on it. So if you want to know how to pull that up, so you're on your screen, right? Here's the thing I just pinned. Just click that. Click it again, and it makes it big, and there's 2 pages that you can copy. You can screenshot. So everybody screenshot these 2 pages. We're going to talk about these today. And but first I'm going to share some examples of some things. All right. So I just told you guys I sell fabric, right? And one of the fabrics that I sell the most are these upholstery, high-end decor fabric samples. Okay, fabric sample. Most of them are a rectangular piece of some kind of fabric. This one happens to be, I just grabbed one. It's like a pretty chenille woven fabric. And so it's a nice piece, but you're like, okay, boring. What would I possibly want that for? Now, those of us who sew, we can start thinking up ideas, right? But what would you do with this piece of fabric? So I have shown people what you can do with that piece of fabric. So this is an example. This was a different piece. It's a pretty little woven piece, kind of cool. And it became what is known now as a boxy basket. And I can make one of these in 5 minutes. So you can take this piece of fabric and you can sew a seam down one side. You turn it around, you box the bottom, which is a sewing process where you cut out little squares. You box the bottom, you invert it, you fold it, and in about 5 minutes, I can make a cute little boxy basket with a bottom out of this piece of fabric. So I just took something that's pretty ordinary and I made it into something pretty extraordinary. It's cute. You can store things in it. You can put it on your shelf. You can put your sewing clips. You can put your pencils. You can put your paintbrushes. You can put things at your desk in this cute little basket. A tissue holder, all kinds of uses for this cute little basket, right? Oh, never mind. What was the Sam I was? Oh, never mind. Could you add link to shop? Cannot copy from show notes. Link to the thing I have on here. So the link to this document is in the show notes. If you want the actual link, message me and then I will send you the actual link. Yeah, no worries. Okay. So I just took something ordinary and made it into something kind of extraordinary, didn't I? So another example. Okay. How many of you have salt at home? This is the one that I had in my cupboard. Salt. Everybody has salt, right? And we use salt. If you use too much salt, gag, A, it's actually can be dangerous. B, it tastes horrible. You can't eat it. And you can actually kill plants, kill animals, if you get too much. But interestingly, salt is an essential mineral that we need, right? But if you take a little bit of, and I didn't have one that was marked sea salt, but sea salt is a big thing right now, that especially like that Himalayan pink, and you grind it and you can put it on things. What does it do to things? It makes ordinary things, it enhances the flavor, it makes it taste amazing. And an example I had is, here's a little piece of candy that is a truffle, and it's a chocolate truffle, salted caramel flavored. So they add a tiny little bit of salt onto this candy, and what does it do? It enhances the flavor and it makes it taste wonderful. And so you take something that's just kind of ordinary, your food, your potatoes, your piece of candy, you add that tiny little bit of sea salt, and it turns something ordinary into something extraordinary. So that's kind of my motto today, is how can you take something ordinary and turn it into something extraordinary. Make ordinary extraordinary. That's our motto today. How can we take our shows? How can we take what we sell and make ordinary things into something extraordinary? Okay? You have homework from this show. Screenshot this. The homework is, number 1, you're going to do a 24-hour lead up for your next show or one coming up. If you have one today, you don't have 24 hours. So the next show that you have that you're going to be able to have a 24-hour lead up, I'm going to tell you what you're going to do. And number 2, you're going to watch at least 10 shows. And I want them to be shows you've never been to, someone you've never watched. And you're going to write some notes about those shows. Okay? And I'll tell you what these acronyms mean in a minute. Okay, so did everyone get a screenshot of the homework and my little motto there? You can swipe, if you swipe to the left, clear the screen of the chat for a second, and everybody take a screenshot of this. Okay. Yes, my live, excuse me, we are live streaming on YouTube and Facebook. So you will be able to rewatch this on YouTube. If you go into my show notes, I have my YouTube channel listed in there. If you please go subscribe, that would be awesome. And then you'll be able to rewatch because they took away our past shows. So yeah, definitely do that. Okay. And I'm not going to take a lot of questions right now because we're doing this. So save your questions towards the end of the show and we'll go over things at the end. So I'm not ignoring the chat. I'm just doing this presentation and then we'll do questions at the end. Hey, Bonnie, welcome in. Okay, so one last time, everybody clear your screen of the chat by swiping to the left and then take a screenshot of this so that you'll have it to refer back to. Okay. All right. Everyone got that? Okay. So, oh, and one more example. Okay. I have a plain dark piece of paper, right? How can I take this plain dark piece of paper and turn it into something more extraordinary? Well, I can write on it with a rose gold metallic marker. Okay, there's a reason that I'm sharing this with you. Okay, rose gold metallic marker. Look how cool that looks on the dark paper, right? Awesome. Okay, reason I'm sharing that with you. Okay, so everyone got that screenshotted, right? All right. So, what is the 24-hour lead up referring to? 24-hour lead up. Okay. When you have a show coming up, people usually, they might bookmark your upcoming shows when they're in your show. Hopefully, you're reminding people to do that. But usually, people don't start seeing your shows in the feed until about 48 to 24 hours because that's about how far people's attention is going to have them looking in the shows coming up to be able to see what's coming up, right? Okay, so what can you do in that 24-hour lead up to start attracting more buyers? Okay, well, number 1 is you need to have a really nice thumbnail on your show. You need to have a good thumbnail that attracts people to your show. Now, I'm not picking on anybody. I'm just going out to the For You page and I'm going to scroll down a ways here and kind of just see what it's feeding me. And people are getting better at this, a lot better at this. But let me see if I can find one here that I want to share. Okay. So again, I'm not picking on anybody and I'm going to cover up the name. Okay. That picture right there. That one, at least the person is in there with the dog. Okay. All of you have adorable dogs. We love your dogs. Don't use your dog as your thumbnail. Please don't use your dog as your thumbnail unless you're selling pet supplies and your dog is wearing the stuff you sell or eating the snacks you sell, or right, in a violent world, like I said, unless you're doing something with pets and your dog is the thing, great, then yes, you should have your dog as your thumbnail. If not, don't use your dog as your thumbnail. Okay, please don't use your dog. Okay, now your thumbnail is what catches people's eyes. I'm going to just kind of scroll here for a minute. I just went out to for you. This is the people that are live right now. Now, there are some people who are branded. Like I just passed this one. That's their brand. That's their logo. They are recognizable. They have every reason to use that on their thumbnail for every dang show. Okay? Because they have, and they're huge. They have 516 people in their show. They sell Pokemon cards, right? Everybody recognize that, right? Okay. But otherwise, I mean, I'm just kind of scrolling. What's catching my eye? What's catching my eye? I want you to do that experiment. What's catching your eye and why? Okay. So, thumbnail, huge, important. Work on your thumbnails. If you have boring thumbnails, work on them. All right. Next thing that you can do in that 24-hour lead up to your show, curate your show, have it ready before that 24-hour period. So just to prove this point, I did an experiment 2 days ago. So the show that I had yesterday, before I did this thing, now I already have nice thumbnails. I have bright, fancy thumbnails. You've seen my thumbnails. I'm going to tell you where I create them. Canva, Canva. Canva. It's amazing. They have AI on there that can do things that in 5 seconds that none of us could do in 2 hours. So and there's other apps that you can use that are similar. Get one of the apps that help you make fun, fancy thumbnails. Okay. So I already had a nice thumbnail on that show. But what I did is, and I had 25 bookmarks on that show. Okay. And I'm one of the bigger sellers in my category. I had 25 bookmarks in that show 24 hours before I did what I did. Okay. What I did is I had that show curated, ready to go, and I took a video of my shelf of fabric and I showed people in a video. It was silent. I didn't talk. I just took a video and I panned over what I was going to put in that show, my shelf, what was going to be in the show. I also had my show preloaded. I had a lot of the listings that I was going to sell specific items preloaded. Okay. So 24 hours before, I put that video in, and before my show, I had almost doubled the number of bookmarks. Okay. Now, bookmarks that come within that last 24 hours are usually the people who are really interested in coming into that show. The bookmarks you got before that 24-hour period were the people who booked your upcoming shows, maybe people that saw you somewhere, gave you a bookmark, maybe in a seller chat, they gave you a bookmark, especially if you're new, right? I have a pretty decent following, so I get more bookmarks than the average person in my category on any given day. But if you're new, and especially if you're in a bigger category, those bookmarks are hard to come by. So 24-hour lead up. I put a video. How do you put a video on a show? So you go to a show that you have coming up. So let's see. So this is my show tomorrow. Okay. You click the show, you edit three dots, you edit, and then you go down to an edit, and then you go to where the thumbnail is, and voila, right next to it, add a video. Okay? Try this out. But you've got to have your show ready 24 hours before. Yes, I can explain pre-bids in a little bit. Remind me in the show or in the chat in a little bit. So add a video. It needs to be about a 10 to 20 second max video that you put in there. You can add music. You can add, pictures of stuff you're going to sell. You can talk in the video if you want to, but it can just be a silent video of some of the things you're going to sell. Your thumbnail has limited amount of space. Your title has a limited amount of space. Those are hugely important, but something you can do 24 hours before is add a video, because then people will start seeing what you have. It forces them by looking at it to see kind of what you have. Okay. So so that's how you add a video, and then you just update and it's in there. And yeah, I would suggest adding the video in that 48 to 24 hour period, because that's when you're going to get more views on it anyway. All right. It doesn't hurt to add it even more sooner, but that's the key time. All right. 24-hour lead up. Make sure your thumbnail and your title and your category are on point for what your show is going to be, and that you have something exciting for them to see. And then you're going to add that video and see what happens. Report back to me, try it, see what happens. Okay? All right, number 2 on my list, your homework is you're going to go watch 10 shows. And I want you to go into shows you've never been into before. This is important because you're biased by ones you've already been into. Okay? So this homework, 10 times, I want you to go watch 10 different shows. Just pick random stuff. Pick some in categories you don't normally go into. Pick some that have, a smaller audience. Pick some that have a huge audience. Pick, a kind of a range. Okay, and then here's your homework. Why did you stay? Why did you leave? Stay for 5 to 10 minutes. And then the why did you stay, or why did you want to stay, you're going to write that down. Why did you want to leave, or why did you leave? Write it down. Okay? Write it down. I want you to think seriously about why did you want to stay and why did you want to leave? Answer those. Write them down for at least 10 shows. You can do more if you want. Actually write them down so that you can have some things to look at and go, okay, what about that show makes me want to stay? What about that show makes me want to leave? And if you're finding that most of them make you want to leave, go find some more that make you want to stay, because you want some good examples of why you wanted to stay. Okay? So that's your homework. Okay? All right. Do I notice more buyers on certain days of the weeks or times of day? Yes, but that's another thing that people often ask. What's the best time to go live? Well, the best time to go live is when you can go live. There's 100,000 of people on Whatnot at any given time, even at 3 a.m. The best time is when you can make it happen, and when you can bring it, and when everybody's going to because of what you're doing, you bring your audience, because there is no perfect answer to that, So yeah. All right. Now let's do another example of why I was talking about this pen, this marker. So I took a plain piece of paper, right? I showed you the back of this. It's a dark piece of paper, yawn. And then I wrote some stuff on it, but I used a rose gold metallic marker. Okay. I have so many of these that I need to sell. Okay. They happen to be in my Buy It Now. And so I'm going to sell some of these right now. You don't have to buy it if you don't want to. But I showed you what you can do with this. It also writes on white paper, okay? And makes something really cool. They're on flash sale. You get 2 of them, brand new in the package, rose gold metallic markers. You can use them for something like this in your show. And the reason I'm showing you this is because how would I market these? I got a ton of them I need to sell. How do you market them? You show the value. You show what you can do with it. You show the ordinary, and you show how to make it extraordinary. You show people the value. You show people why they want it. And then something you're selling becomes more extraordinary. Your show becomes more extraordinary because you have a good thumbnail, because you have a video showing what you're going to sell, because you curated that show and people can see the amazing stuff you have for sale that day. You make the ordinary into something more extraordinary. I'm going to tell you about someone on Whatnot who's a master of this. She is who we all want to be when we grow up on Whatnot. So let me show you, and you're all going to recognize who this is, but it's better to show. So let me pull up her profile here. If I can type, that would help. Okay. Okay, everyone recognize Shop 801 Lane. Okay, Shop 801 Lane is a master at making ordinary things extraordinary. Okay, so do I have advice for when you participate in raid trains? Yes, we can talk about that later. So as soon as I'm done with my presentation, everybody hold your comments and questions and I'll get to that. Okay. Shop 801 Lane. If you have not ever watched her, please go use that. Write that down as one of your first homework shows that you're going to go watch. Okay. She's a late nighter. She's amazing for a lot of reasons. She does late night shows because she has 3 little kids. And so she is a mom all day long, single mom all day long. And then she does late night shows. Okay. So in her background here, if you look close, can you see that knit with pearls on it? So, and I don't have the one that I bought because I gave it to my sister or to my daughter-in-law. Okay, she buys pallets. She sells usually clothing, accessories. She pretty much sells whatever she can find, honestly. And everything she finds sells. Why? Because she takes ordinary things and makes them extraordinary. And this example is a huge example of doing that. She bought a palette that had like 600 or more of these Jessica Simpson beanies. They're like pink beanie caps with little pearls on them. They're cute, but who wants that? She had like 1,000, right? It was an outrageous amount of these, right? And I would have bought that palette and died and been like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with this? Right? So she sold them all. And she did not sell them for $1, you guys. She sold them all and she sold them for more than $1 a piece. Okay, usually for $5 to $10. She would put them on flash sale and all these things. But what did she do with this? Someone tell me why you bought one of these. Who bought one? Raise your hand if you bought one of her hats. I did. I bought one. Tell me why people bought these. I mean, they're cute, but I promise you that most people would not normally buy that hat, right? Okay. Why did you buy it? So a Cozy Corner bought one. Why did you buy it? They like her. They were on sale, FOMO. Okay, what did she do that made everybody really want it, though? The Beanie Club, Simply Smarter. The Beanie Club. She started having people send her pictures of them wearing the hat, and she did a collage behind her, that showed everybody wearing their hats. Okay? They want to support her. They like her, and everybody bought one of these Jessica Simpson beanies. Okay? It was brilliant. She also got in a ton of baby bibs. Nice baby bibs. I mean, I think she probably had 1,000 of those too. And she sold them all. She is a master of taking ordinary things and turning them into something extraordinary, either by how she presents it, what she does with it, how she, she sells toys. Yeah, she sells everything. You guys, if you haven't watched her, she is the master of this. Go watch and figure out things that you can do to kind of, do what she does. So this is the seller that I'm talking about. Shop 801 Lane, right there. If someone wants to pin her in the chat, that would be good. And she's actually here in my home state of Utah. Well, in my home state of Utah. So she's close by. Yeah, she's amazing. All right. So, and I wanted to show you also what she puts on her thumbnails. She mostly just puts her picture. Why does she mostly just put her picture? Because she is her brand. She made it her brand. She doesn't have to do as much to attract people. She can slap her face on there and you guys will come. She also does some amazing fun things. She does these shows that are Trina's Store, Rude Cashier with Trina. It's hilarious. She also does Deal or No Deal. She puts on a bald cap and does Deal or No Deal, you guys. She's hilarious. Okay. Oh, thank you. Well, whatever. All right. So go watch her as one of your homework if you've never watched her. Okay. Make ordinary extraordinary. All right, now let's talk about some of the things on this list. You guys can read over these yourself. There's some really nice quotes from some of the other sellers. But let's talk about some of these things because you need to know about a lot of these things. Okay, coupons is the first thing on here. And the rewards club. Do at least this, and if you're not eligible yet for the rewards program, do some coupons. Read about that. If you're eligible for the rewards program, do the rewards program. It kind of automates coupons for you. Okay, that's on there. Flash sales. I just showed you how to do a flash sale. If you don't know how to do them, just go into frequently asked questions, type in the word flash sale, look it up, read about how to do them, and start doing them. Okay? You can do flash sales even on single items if you want to. Okay? You don't have to have multiple items. Free and reduced shipping. Huge, huge, huge. If you can do free or reduced shipping, it will make a difference. Most of us cannot do free shipping, but if you can at least do reduced shipping, that will make all the difference in the world. Reduced shipping gives you this banner on your thumbnail. It stands out. It tells people the shipping is going to be cheaper in this show. I probably want to go to shows that have the reduced shipping. Okay. What about the free shipping Whatnot is doing for new buyers? That's a huge incentive. It's limited, but yes, new buyers that come to the app, you should be, when you're sharing the app on social media, make sure people know that they can possibly get free shipping as well. But it's, a one-time thing. Okay. Or I think it's like an amount they get up to. All right. So reduced shipping makes a huge difference. People are more likely to go into shows that offer reduced shipping. So, see the difference there? If you go into a specific category, let me go into a specific category. Let's see. If I go into like vintage, let's go into vintage decor. Okay, vintage decor. So we're in a specific category. Who has reduced shipping? Who doesn't? Okay, I'm just looking. So the shows that have reduced shipping, Hodgepodge. Look how many people are in her show compared to the next one. Okay. And I mean, Hodgepodge is awesome and amazing, and she gets a huge audience almost no matter what. She's made a brand. Reduced shipping makes a difference. If you can offer it, try to offer it. Try to work out ways to at least do it some of the times. Okay. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to use flat rate boxes, but in order to get the reduced shipping banner in your shipping settings, you have to have the buyer pays max set to something so that it's offering reduced or the free shipping. So free shipping or reduced by having a buyer pays max amount. Okay. All right. The other thing they mentioned on here is the promote tools. Okay. I'm not going to talk a lot about that. If you want to try and boost or promote your shows, you can, but make sure it makes sense. Make sure you're in a category and in a place where if you boost or promote your show, it's actually going to make a difference. And then they have added analytics that you can look at so that when you boost or promote your show, you can look to see how much it made a difference, and that will help you decide if it makes sense to do it again. Okay? So, yeah, I have mixed feelings about it. It can help. I have seen it work. So, but it has to make sense. You have to be, in a time and a place in a category where it's going to make a difference. So, read up about that. Make sure you use the analytics to make sure it makes sense. Now, let's talk about things that you can do. So, all of these things are awesome. Flash sales don't necessarily cost you anything per se, but it does in the sense that you're giving them a bigger discount, right? So, all of these things technically cost you something, right? So, what are things you can do that don't cost you anything? Well, I've already talked about two of them. And one of them is the video, adding a video to your thumbnail in that 24-hour lead up, 48, 24-hour lead up. Two, making sure you have a really good thumbnail and a really good title. Those are free. You just do it, right? That didn't cost you any money to make sure you have a good thumbnail or a good title or to put a video in there. Okay. So those are two free things you can do. The other thing you need to be doing is you need to be utilizing social media. When you share, someone asked a little bit earlier, we're going to talk about that. How do you share? I don't remember what the exact question was, but sharing your shows. So the feature on Whatnot where you can share. So you're in your live show. You can open it before you go live, and right on your screen is that little share thing right there, right? Click it, and see what comes up. Well, first thing that comes up is that it kind of encourages you to share with people on Whatnot. And I would be very cautionary about sharing with people on Whatnot. Share if you have some groups of people that have agreed to share shows. Share if you know you have a customer who wanted a reminder, um, or knew they wanted a specific thing you have in that show today. Other than that, it's kind of spammy to just go in and start randomly picking a bunch of people to share your show with. Don't do it. It's spammy. I don't love it when people who've been in my seller chats just start spamming me with their shows. Turn off, don't do it. Okay? So, but what is underneath there is all of the other ways that you can share. So we've got Instagram. We can copy the link and share it on other social media. We can share directly to Facebook. We can share directly to it's not coming up. Oh, it's not coming up on this one because this is my iPad. But you can share directly to Facebook, Instagram, and to Twitter, the one with the X. What's it called now? I don't know. And you should be doing that. Okay. Do you have to pay the extra if we reduce ship? So sometimes, King Kim, it depends on what you sell and how your shipping settings are set, and if you use up your 5 adjustments. Okay. So if you do free shipping, obviously you're going to pay the shipping. Okay. And you would only do that if you've gotten to a level where your volume of sales will pay you back, because they have it statistically. So here's the statistic on free shipping. Let's see. Oh, it's not on this one. It's on one of the other documents. 50% of the sellers who use free and reduced shipping recoup 100% of the cost of doing that. So did you hear what I said with that? Heart Up Living, thank you for the raid. Appreciate that. Thanks for the raid. Okay, rating is one of the free things you can do to get more attention, more followers, more people coming to your shows. Raid, always raid. Okay. Rating is one of the free things you can do. Okay. But we're talking about what was I talking about? I was talking about the reduced shipping. So 50% of buyers or sellers, when they free or reduce ship, make back 100% of what they invested in doing the free or reduced shipping. Okay. So 50-50 chance you're going to make back 100%. So then it's worth it, right? And if you're doing at least reduced, so I offer reduced shipping on all my shows. I very, very rarely have to pay out of my own pocket for shipping. Okay. I sell something that's easy to pack and ship. I don't know. It may not work for everybody. Okay. Try it. See what happens. Take a chance. Offer reduced shipping and see if you can make it work, because it does make a difference. Okay. So that's something you can do that's a cost, that does cost something though. Okay, so sharing, we were talking about sharing your shows, that's free. Getting your thumbnail classed up, that's free. Getting a good title, that's free. Sharing your shows, that's free. What are some other free things that you can do to get more people in your shows and keep them in your shows? Another one that I talked about is curating your show, getting your show loaded with the items you're going to sell beforehand. Let me read you one of the quotes off of this Attracting Buyers. Okay. Oh, and let me get that pinned back up here. So attracting and keeping buyers is pinned. If you're just joining us, make sure you screenshot the item that I just pinned So to do that, you just click this little document, click it big again, and boom, you've got it. Screenshot those 2 pages. And then if you want the direct link for this, it's in the show notes. And you can also message me and I can send you the link. Okay? All right. So, Julie Becker. Does everyone raise your hand if you know Julie Becker? She's awesome. She does seller chat shows. My light is seeming very bright. Let me switch this a little bit over. Is that a little better? Yeah, that's better. Okay, so Julie Becker, she's amazing. She said this: I will always recommend a loaded shop, especially for new sellers. It's like a new store on Main Street, USA, but nothing is out on the showroom floor. If there are no items loaded into the show, buyers have no idea what's for sale or what beautiful inventory is in the back room. Load up your show, load up that buy it now, and be willing to grab those items to show live and offer to drop the price and run it on the spot. Be consistent. The more you show up, the faster you will grow. That was her quote that's in here. Okay, load your show. That's one of my top 10 tips. Load your items so people have something to see. And that she made that point. If you have a brick and mortar store that people, you have a sign out, Dana's store, and people come in and you have nothing in the store, people can to see and buy, there's nothing there. It's the same concept of going live and you didn't have anything in there for them to see. You don't have stuff loaded. There's nothing for them to see. They're going to leave. There's no reason for them to come in, nothing to see. You've got to have it preloaded. Do a thumbnail, do a title that reflects what you're going to sell, have a video, preload your shows. I can tell you over and over and over again, when I have a show preloaded with a lot of good stuff, I get a better audience. I keep a better audience. It's a faster paced show. It's easier to run that show. All the good. There's no bad. There's no bad about preloading the show, except it takes a little bit more time to get it in there. Okay? Preload. All right. That's free. I mean, it's your time, but it's free. You're not having to give anybody cash to preload your show. So preload your show. That's huge. It's free. Another one that you can do is create a community experience. What are you doing to make people feel welcome, want to be there, want to stay there? Your personality, your demeanor, how you speak to people. Are they feeling like part of the group? Do they want to stay because you make them feel welcome and you do things to help them feel like they're wanted in your show and they're needed in your show and they're part of your community? What are you doing to make people want to stay and be part of you and part of your show? Okay, make an experience. A master at doing this is Jen's Multiverse. She is so much fun. And here's her quote: entertainment value is huge. Do a theme, dress up, have trivia, story time, etc. Treat your show like you were planning a party. If you're planning a party, you would advertise the free entertainment that's going to be there. You're going to show what's going to be, etc. You're going to show everything about it. This translates perfectly to a live show. Use your thumbnails, titles, and social media to pique interest and make viewers curious and excited enough that they won't want to miss out on the show. I love that visual. Make it like your show is going to be a party that you invited everybody to. and they're going to want to stay. Who doesn't want to stay, right? So I love that visual. All right. Kim, Red Rooster, said this. The share button is great. We talked about sharing. Share your favorite items. So not just share the show itself, but share some of your items that you're going to have in that show to your social media, and use the hashtags that are relevant to your category to attract new buyers. And then she says, have fun in your shows. Fun is contagious, and your viewers will come back for more fun, and they'll tell their friends how much fun they had and invite other people. Okay? So yes, Jen's Multiverse is awesome. Her brand is fun, right? She just has a lot of fun, and she entertains, she wears fun costumes. Another one that's a master at that is Hodgepodge Place. I mean, she just is so much fun when she dresses up, does voices, all the things. She's a blast. Okay? We've got a lot of good examples of that. All right. So free things that you can do. We talked about sharing thumbnails of videos. We talked about flash sales. Although they're not completely free, they if you set your price correctly, it technically is free. You know what I mean? Think about how you price things. Okay? But yeah, all those things are free things that you can do that you don't have to spend extra money on. Okay, let's go back to this for a second. So your homework about watching 10 or more shows, and then what does this stand for? Why did you stay? Why did you leave? You want to write down on those shows that you watch, and I want you to go to shows that you've never watched before so that it's fair, because your experiment is to really think about why did you want to stay, why did you want to leave, and I want you to actually write it down. Okay? And then that's your homework. That, and then doing this 24-hour lead up on a show that you have coming up 24 to 48 hours ahead. I want you to make sure your thumbnail and your title and your category are on point. You have an exciting thumbnail, you have an exciting category. Well, category, you have the category that's right for what you're going to do, and you have an exciting title, and then you're going to add a video that shows. So you've curated that show and you've added a video that shows what you're going to sell. It can have sound, it can have you in it, it can just show your products, do whatever you want that you think will be exciting. So everybody, that's your homework. Come back and tell me if it made a difference for you. Okay? And then this homework, we're going to talk about all the things you observed that, you felt like you can think about why you want to stay, why you want to leave, and what you're going to change about what you do because of what you observed. Okay? All right. Oh, thank you for your purchase. All right, let's talk about let me run some more giveaways, you guys. Dang it, I wasn't doing those. Giveaways are a thing you can do to keep people in your show, but you have to be careful about giveaways. Giveaways need to make sense for you financially, and they need to make sense. So this is running. I only have one black. So I'm going to run 2 more of these after this one. And if you want black, this is your only chance for black. Everybody getting that giveaway. And someone's going to get a Whatnot keychain wristlet lanyard. They're very cool. They're woven with the Whatnot logo on there. The black one has this kind of attachment. The yellow one has this kind. They're all cool. So everybody getting that giveaway. And then you get to pick. First person gets either black or yellow. Did I ever get any other flavors of taffy? Well, we had a bunch of different ones. I'm sold out of sugar-free and tropical right now. I do have the 3-flavor mix. So let me run a flash sale on that if anyone wants taffy. So we sell the local gourmet saltwater taffy. This is the 3-flavor mix. It has Spumoni, chocolate mint, and caramel corn. You get 12 pieces. And let's run a flash sale on this if anyone has a craving for some more taffy. That's running. And it will come in this cute, flowery little Easter bag. So Easter treat if you want some of that. So that's what I have right now left. We haven't made it back to the factory to get some more, but we're going to do that soon. So we'll have more flavors soon. But that's what we have left for right now. All right. And thanks for asking. Taffy, you guys. So I was brainstorming one day. I was like, what can I do to have something fun and unique to my area that I can sell that will bring a little bit more value to my shows? I sell fabric, right? But we live in Utah. We're famous for saltwater taffy because of the Great Salt Lake. We have a company locally called Taffy Town. They've been in business for 116 years. Their taffy is to die for. It's so dang good. So I'm like, I should be selling this. I'm bringing a little bit of where I'm from to my customers, and it gives them something to add on to their order, and they're going to love it. And they do. And she asked about it because everyone now knows I sell this gourmet saltwater taffy, and it's amazing. So yes, they do have licorice flavors. This sugar-free mix has the black licorice flavor in it, but I'm out of those right now. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, the taffy is amazing, you guys. And so it's a little added thing I can sell in my shows. I don't make a huge profit on it, but I make a profit a little bit, and I can pass on something that's amazing and wonderful. Do something like that. What's something unique about where you live that you can bring to your shows and offer? That's another thing you can do. It's free to you. You might make a profit on it because you're adding a little bit extra fun. And yeah, it makes it extra fun when you get your package to have a little treat in there. And so, yeah, think about what you could maybe sell, kind of like these, that would bring a little bit of an extra value to your shows. And we do different little bags. I sold the tropical ones in these cute little canisters. So we're going to just keep doing it, and it makes it fun. The sugar-free is so good. Speaking of, Country Roads with Michelle makes fudge that is so good, you guys. If you want peanut butter fudge, make sure you're following Country Roads with Michelle, because she has amazing, and she's a Cottage Kitchen licensed, and she sells the peanut butter fudge. Make sure you follow Country Roads with Michelle for some peanut butter fudge. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I buy it, I keep it in my fridge, and I hoard it. And so I slowly eat it, and it's so good. You're welcome. All right, everybody in that giveaway, it's going to draw in 20 seconds. Who's going to get a keychain? Who's going to get a keychain? And while this is about to draw, remind me of the questions and the things that you were asking in chat that I can now talk about because we have time. 2 seconds, 1 second. Who's going to get it? Whoop, whoop. It is going to Sam. I was. Congrats. Congrats. So, would you like a yellow or a black? I only have one black left. I have 2 yellows. I love the yellow. It's bright and fun. You won. Do you want the yellow or the black? Congrats. You get a yellow. Awesome. So I'm going to write your name on that one so I remember. Sam gets a yellow one. All right, let's get the other one started. So we have 2 more to give away. Let me get that started. Here we go. Black and yellow still available. So everybody get in again, and you might get one of these. And then everyone, please start asking the questions about the things you want answered. Yes, the black ones are pretty cool, but I like the yellow too. It's hard to pick. So do I? Oh, you're asking. So you're asking Country Roads if she has peanut butter sugar-free. She does. She has sugar-free peanut butter. So yes, make sure you follow her. All right, what is a raid? Okay, what is a raid? A raid is when you take your audience. So everybody that's here in my show today, there's 58 of you right now. When I finish my show, instead of ending the show, I'm going to take my audience to someone else's show. And it's a free thing that you can do to get attention, get followers, and get some more people coming to your shows because you just now showed everybody who you are and that you're a community player. And the way that you do it is you just click the little down arrow, okay? And instead of ending the show, you're going to create a raid. Okay, create a raid. And when you click that, it actually gives you suggestions of where you can go, or you type in who you want to raid. Okay, so you can do it that way. I'm not going to do it because we're not quite done yet, but that's how you do it. And when you raid, a good seller will call you out, will thank you profusely, and will often run a giveaway in your honor. I mean, what better way to get attention than that? So always, always raid. That's one of the things on my top 10 tips list is to always raid. Let me pin my top 10 tips here so everybody can screenshot top 10 tips. This is just the list that I came up with because everyone was asking over and over all these same questions. So I was like, we need a list. So top 10 tips. These are the, so just tap it big, screenshot it if you haven't screenshotted this in the past. These are the 10 commandments of what you should be doing on Whatnot consistently to be successful as a seller. If you read through this list and there's things you're not doing, you need to start doing them, and you need to start doing them consistently. Okay, consistency. You're going to hear that over and over and over. Consistency is the key on Whatnot. Consistently, number one on that list, schedule shows. Okay. All right, let me answer some more questions. Can I include a business card with my web page website into info in a sale? Yes, Sasquatch, you can. You can share your social media, your own web page. You cannot or should not share your links to other selling platforms. That's kind of tacky. But yes, you can definitely have a business card with your web page, your social media accounts. Definitely you can do that. Okay. And you should have your social media platforms listed in your profile, on your main profile. So like because you want people to follow you in other places as well, because that's a lot of times how people get notified that you're going live. If they're not on Whatnot, but they happen to be scrolling on YouTube or Facebook, they might get a notification that you're going live as well. So on your main profile, so here's my main profile, I have listed to please follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And I have the same name there. Draz on Whatnot is what is my handle on all of those platforms. So you should have that listed in your main profile. All right, let's see. If you had a question that you asked earlier and I didn't get to it yet, or a comment that you wanted me to comment on, please restate it in the chat with a question mark. And we're getting a winner. We're getting a winner. Who is it? It is Holmes Haven. Congrats. You are winning a Whatnot keychain lanyard. Which one would you like? Yellow or black? And congrats. And while we're the black one, please. Awesome. Holmes gets the black one. Let me write down your name. Holmes Haven. Holmz Haven. Awesome, awesome. Congrats. Very cool. Coming your way. All right, now let's talk about some other free things you can do that will add value and make people want to come to your shows. Free things you can do. Let's see, how long were you on Whatnot before you considered it your full-time gig? Let's see, I started on Whatnot I got approved to sell August of 2022. I started doing live shows 2 months later. I shouldn't have waited. 2 months later, and then we were part-time on Whatnot until, let's see, November the next year. So 1 year, and then we went full-time on Whatnot. We sold a business, and I quit my other part-time job, and my husband and I do it full-time now. So 1 year. That's the answer to that one. Let's see. Oh, pre-bids. Yes. So question about pre-bids. So let me tell you about, oh, thank you so much for the tip, Moxie. That was so generous of you. All right. If you use a laptop web version when you run your shows, there's a new little pre-bid button right here that you can click. Can you see this where my cursor is? You can click this and it will show you if there's any pre-bids on items, and then you click it off and it goes back to your, so on, off, and it goes back. And how do pre-bids work? Well, you have to have your show loaded. You have to have items for people to bid on in order to get pre-bids. And pre-bids are awesome because a pre-bid is a guaranteed sale if you run it. Okay, but you've got to notice them because people are kind of shy and won't always shout out that they pre-bid on something. So make sure you're checking for pre-bids. If you're using mobile to run your show, you're going to have to kind of look in the, you're going to have to kind of look in your listings to see if there's a pre-bid. So you would go into your auction tab and, scroll through, and it will show you in there if there are pre-bids on the items. I prefer to use the web version to run my shows. It's so much more rich in features that you can use to run your show. Okay. Let's see. I asked about preparing for raid trains. Oh, yes. Okay. So if you're going to be in a raid train, you need to have a very specific curated show, preloaded, because most raid trains are anywhere from 10 minutes to half an hour, occasionally an hour. And you have to be prepared. So you've got to have everything preloaded, kind of have it in the order that you want to do it in, and have everything set so that you can do a fast-paced, organized show. You don't really want to be in a raid train if you can't do that, because you will derail the train, meaning people raid into you from the raid train and you're not organized, you're not prepared, you're kind of all over the place. What are people going to do? They're going to leave. So you've got to be prepared to be able to do a fast-paced, fun, quick show. So be prepared for that. All right, let's see. Yeah, the pre-bids are easier to find now. They've added that pre-bid button. It's pretty new. It was showed up about, I think, maybe a couple weeks ago. I can't remember for sure. Let's see. If someone bids before the run, do you start at that bid? Yes. So if you have pre-bids on an item, it starts at the price you put it at first as the first bid. And then if multiple people bid, then it starts at that price, whatever it has gone up to when you run it. So yeah. Did you know that PWE? Do you know what PWE stands for? I see it in a lot of people's bins, especially with stickers. It stands for plain white envelope. So plain white envelope is the option you can use. I'm not sure why they're using that. But they're telling you that it's going to get mailed in a plain white envelope. So let me pin my plain white envelope instructions for you here. All right, so if you want to be able to use, do giveaways where you're sending a sticker or a card or something that can go in a plain white envelope, this is the instructions for how to set that up. And it will save you a ton of money because it will make it so that you're sending something for 73 cents instead of $4 to $7, for a small item giveaway. Or, even people were sending stickers or gift cards before, and it was costing you $4 to $7. Now you can put it in an envelope. There are rules about it. You can't send anything valued more than $20. It has to fit the dimensions listed. Can't be thicker than 1/4 of an inch. Has to be a paper envelope. You aren't going to want to send something that has to be tracked. So if people are buying things, be careful about what you sell that goes in an envelope. Giveaways, but here's what I do. So I typically give away stickers or little pieces of fabric they can make something out of, and I send it in a card inside an envelope. So I give them a card and the sticker and the fabric, and it goes inside an outer envelope, so they get to reuse the card and whatever else I give them. And I tell them when I run the giveaway, here's what we're giving away today. And if you have an order, this will come with your order. If you don't, it will be coming to you in a paper envelope. I set the expectation right up front. If you buy something, it's coming with your order. If you don't, it's coming in an envelope. It will come through snail mail. So set that expectation because people can give feedback reviews on giveaways. So yeah, be careful with that. The envelope doesn't have to be white. That's just kind of the terminology. It can be whatever color. Just make sure it fits the dimensions and the thickness. So read through all those instructions. And in order to set it up, you have to change your shipping settings in your main profile and in the show that you want to use it in. Once you change it in your main profile settings, it will be a default for all additional shows coming up. But if you have shows already scheduled and you want to start using it, make sure you go change your shipping setting in those upcoming shows that you already had scheduled because it won't automatically update that. Do you set the bid increase? No. Whatnot has bid increase set at $1. So, if someone goes in and pre-bids and then the next person wants to bid, they have to bid at least $1 more. Let's see. And yes, you can remind people that it could take up to 2 weeks to get that envelope. So if you do sell some items that go in an envelope, make sure you list on the listing. It's going to come in an envelope if you don't have other items that you ordered, and it will take longer to get to you. Please tell them to make the tip button more accessible. Too many taps makes no sense why it's under boost. Yeah, it used to be a separate thing. I think we've mentioned that before, but I'll write it down again. So tip button more accessible. Yeah, it used to be a lot more obvious, and I agree. It kind of would be nice to be more obvious because I think more people would probably tip more often. But yeah, it got put under there probably because they added so many things they had to put it somewhere. But maybe it could say promote/tip, and then at least both things are there. Yeah. Colbert, we have requested that they bring back past shows. I don't think it's going to happen. It is, you do have the ability to watch the show if it's your own show, you can always watch your own past shows. But if you bought something from a show, you can also watch the entire show because it through the video receipt. But I think they literally just made a business decision based on bandwidth to store past shows. I don't know for sure, but trust me, we all ad nauseum requested it. I don't think it's coming back. But that's why, here's the good that's coming out of that. The good that's coming out of that is it's forcing a lot of us. Oh, thank you so much for that. Did we just get a purchase, or was that something popping up on my screen? Oh, there's a delay. Sorry. All right. Let me run that last Whatnot giveaway. So everybody get in. We have one more keychain left in the yellow. So everybody get in. Last one, last chance for a Whatnot keychain. And then let me show you what they gave us for next month's show. These are so cool. Just so I can kind of promote these. Let me grab them. Oh, they're up here on my shelf. Can I reach? And talk about a fun presentation. So this is what they sent us to be able to give away in our community chat shows for next month. And it came in this really fun little box, yellow, and these are so fun. They are little Whatnot banner flags, like felted flags, and they're rolled up in this box. Let me see if I can grab one out to show you. So we're going to be giving these away in our shows next month. How cool are these to be able to hang behind your show when you're running your show? So we'll be giving those away next month in our community shows. Very cool, right? So make sure you attend a lot of the community seller chats to get a chance to win one of those. Let me just look and see. Can I talk about rewards? Yes. And confused, I just clicked the items available and the tip button is there. I clicked the items available and the tip button is there. Like on your mobile device when you go into the shop. Oh yeah, tip is over to the right. You're right. That is correct. So let me show everybody that. That is correct. So if you go in, if you're on your mobile device and you click the shop button and you scroll all the way over, it's only on iPhone. So it's not on Android. So this is an Android phone. Notice that I scroll all the way over and tip is not there on Android, but it is on Apple devices. So if I go into the shop and scroll over on an Apple device, tips are right there at the end. Can you see that? Tips. But that's to show tips that were given, not to give the actual tip. So if you want to give a tip, you have to come into the show, and you have to hit the promote. Let me find it on here. So on here on Android, it's under boost. So you click boost, and then you can send a tip there. That's what it looks like on Android. Yeah. And you can send a tip or boost the show. Okay. So that's where it's at on Android. And then on Apple, I have an old iPad here, so I can't show it to you because this one doesn't even have it at all. That's weird. What does Boost do? So Boost can, people can contribute money to the Boost, and then as soon as you have, I think it's 20, let me see, as soon as you have $26, I think it is, it will automatically boost. Oh, it's $25. It will automatically boost your show and promote it. And it's a way that you can try and get more people in. And a community boost is where where your buyers boost your show versus you paying to boost it. Question, does boost work better than promoting yourself? We experimented with that, and the answer is they're about the same. So it's the same, it's doing the same thing. It's just that someone else is paying for it. I'm sure you already mentioned this, but I just got an update notification for Whatnot. Make sure you update. Oh, okay. So you got an email saying you need to update? Okay. Let's see. Do you have a cheat sheet for new sellers on setting up shipping where buyer pays? So let me give you the shipping 101. We just got a winner. Vintage Vicky. Hey, how are you? And congrats. You just won this Whatnot keychain lanyard. So let me put your name on this one. Congrats. All right. I just want to keep the colors straight so I remember who picked which ones. So I've got your name on that one. And congrats. So I just pinned the shipping 101 so you can see that. So click that picture right here. Click it again big. And then swipe over, and you've got 3 pages of information about shipping. And then you have a 4th one that is a little flow chart with pictures that helps you figure out how to do your shipping. And your specific question was where buyer pays. Okay, so in your shipping settings, let me just show you where you specify who's going to pay. So in your account, so this is your main profile. In your account, you go to account and shipping, and then the shipping cost is where you specify. So right now mine is set for buyers pay max $9.21. And that's how I get that reduced shipping banner is I make it so my buyers only have to pay the maximum of $9.21. Okay? And then if you want them to pay all, so then you're going to click that and change it to buyer pays all, which is the last one right there. Buyer pays all. You would click that if you want your buyers to pay all. If you want to be able to offer free shipping for a show, you would click it there. Okay. Now, these are my default settings on my main shipping profile. If you want to change it in a specific show, you need to open that show. So let's say that for tomorrow's show, this show right here that I have scheduled, let's say I want to offer free shipping. So I would open that show. I click the 3 little dots. I click edit show. And then I scroll down to the shipping settings right here. And then you have to open it up a little bigger. And then you're going to go to that same thing, shipping costs. Click that and then change it here. And then you need to make sure you save it. Okay. So anything you want to change in your shipping for a specific show, you need to open that show and change it in that show. Okay. Let's see. On Android, go to shop and tip is on the bottom right. Oh, okay. See, I don't use Android very much. So let me check that. So go to on the shop and the tip button is, I have an Android. I click on the shop and the tip button is at the bottom. Oh, okay. Let me try that. Oh, right here. So send a tip right there. Perfect. Okay. Let me see if that's the same on the, so yeah, not on the mobile that I can see, but I'm on this old iPad, so I'm not sure. So if it's not there, update. Okay. What happens if people pay to boost, but it doesn't reach 25? So then they're just adding to your boost account and it carries over until it reaches 25. And once it reaches 25, it automatically boosts your show. So, I mean, I've seen people boost shows and then it does nothing. Like I think I have a little bit in there because someone boosted me once for $5 or something, but it's just been sitting there because no one ever has added more, and so it's never been used. How would a new person know about tipping if a seller didn't mention it or boost? It's all about education. Yes, exactly. So, yeah, it's all about telling people about the things that you can do. Who pays the rest of the shipping? Well, you get 5 adjustments a week, and then anytime you have to, if you do the reduced shipping and it doesn't fit in a flat rate package or it doesn't cover the shipping, you have 5 adjustments, and then after that the seller pays. Yes. Yes, and thank you, Crystal. Sorry about that. I'm trying to keep up with the chat here. So let's see. Wait, they control quality of items like it's illegal to make Disney items without authorizing. Okay, that was a different question. Okay, yeah, so we got to that. How do you shrink the packing ship so it does not come out on several pages? Oh, that's a good question, Crystal. So if you're using a label printer, so in your shipping settings, when you go to print, let me see if I can show you on here. Let's go to this show. Oh, this show hasn't ended, so I can't. I can show you the one from yesterday. Okay. Colbert, are you here? I'm going to show, I haven't shipped your taffy from yesterday yet. I'm going to ship it today. And I'm going to show them how you can do a label on here. So your name is going to show up on my screen. Are you cool with that? Colbert, are you still here? All right. So to do my shipping, I use a label printer. Okay. And what size flat rate is 921? Any flat rate package is 921. Small, bubble mailer, all of those sizes, okay, are 921. Anything flat rate, 921. Also, 921 covers 1 to 5 pounds priority. 1 to 5 pounds priority is also 921. Once they've hit 5 pounds, if you have your shipping settings set for 1 to 5 pounds regular priority, not flat rate, and then Ground Advantage 5 and over. Once they hit 5 pounds, if you have it set for Ground Advantage, it starts incrementally charging a little bit more to cover the over 5 pound Ground Advantage rate. if you have it set for buyer pays all. If you have it set for buyer pays max, $9.21, then you're going to pay that extra shipping cost after your 5 adjustments. Yes, you can change to flat rate after. I'll show you how to do that as well. Colbert must have taken off. Okay, let me just put a sticky note over a few things here so it doesn't show. Okay, so here's an order. Oh, I forgot I have a touch screen. That's not going to work. Okay, so here's my shipping for this one item yesterday that sold in my seller chat yesterday. Okay, so I'm going to bring you over to this screen. Okay, I need to watch on the other screen so I can see what it's doing. Okay, oh, my sticky note fell off. Okay, well, Colbert's not going to care. Doesn't show anything but her username. Okay, so she bought one of my bags of taffy. This is her order. Okay, and on a laptop, you need to scroll all the way over to the pencil to be able to edit an item, to edit the order. So I'm going to click the pencil. See right here where it says flat rate? It's toggled off because this item was only 7 ounces. See the 7 ounces? But if it was higher and I wasn't using flat rate and I want to toggle it on, I just turn it on. And then you just select the size of flat rate packaging you're going to use. There's envelopes all the way through large. So you would just select it. So let's say I was going to mail this in a small flat rate box. Now, because she only had 7 ounces, if I were to do that, guess what it's going to show down here? It's going to show that I need to pay the extra or use one of my adjustments because they didn't charge her enough for this 7 ounces, right? Because they only charged her $4.80 because this is a 7 ounce item that doesn't qualify for over £1. But I could upgrade her shipping if I wanted to. So that's a way you could do that. But I'm going to turn it back off because I don't want to send it flat rate. But that's how you can turn it on. So if you sold something Underground Advantage or Priority, but it is going to fit in a flat rate box. So if you sold something that weighs over £1 but not 5 pounds, and you want to put it in a flat rate box because it's going to fit, you just toggle that on and select the size of the box that you're going to use. Okay, and you don't have to put in dimensions and you don't have to put in the weight because it's just picking the box. They already know what the dimensions of that box are, and they already know that, well, and as long as it weighs less than 70 pounds, which it put in here, whatever I told it weighed, right? Okay. And then the other thing that you guys wanted to know about, what was the other thing I was going to show you? What was the other thing I was going to show you guys on here? Oh, label. How do you do the label change? Okay. So if I'm going to generate a label, you just generate, you click that, you do it. Let me think how I would do this one. How can I show you that without screwing it up? Let's see. Just a second, I have to think about it because I'm sending her this. So I can do, let's see. I know what box I'm going to put this in, so I can do that. I know the weight. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to save it. All right, so I'm going to generate this label. And, oh, sorry, I showed her address. Don't do that. All right, so it clicks, it has 2 pages here because it has the label and the thing, right? If you want to print the thing on multiple pages. So go into your printer, and then right here under more settings, you can tell it you only want to print 1 through, let's say it's a 3-page, you can put 1 through 3. And I don't have 3, but I can say 1 through 2, and then you can go down here and do pages per sheet 2, and look how it does both things on 1 page. So if this were a 2-page invoice, it would put 2 of them on 1 label. That's how you can do it. Okay. So that's how. Did that answer that? And sorry, Colbert, if I accidentally showed your address. Forgive me. So as a buyer, I don't care. We have receipts emailed to us. As a seller, I always include the printout receipt. So I include on new customers, I include the whole thing, and I do it on multiple pages like that, where I shrink it down so it fits 2 or 3 on 1 page. For existing customers, I mail the first page. And the reason that I think it's important to have something inside the package is because it has their name and address on it. And if something happens to the outside of the package, the name and address is on the inside, and hopefully it will still get to them. That's kind of my reasoning. I like to have at least page 1 in their package with their name and address on it. That's how I do it. Okay. And then I do print, if I have a multiple page invoice, sorry, my voice is gone. If I have a multiple page invoice, I do that trick where you do 1 through 4, 2, and then do 4 per page. Yeah, see, I only had 2, but if you have 3, you can put 1 through 3 and then do, 4 per page, and it will put it all on 1 page, and then you can print just the actual label on the next page. Yeah. So that's how I do it. And if you're using regular paper, then you can do the same thing. Yeah. Yeah, if you have a Rollo thermal, yeah, you can do that trick where you just tell it in the settings to print pages 1 through 4, go down and tell it to print 2 or 3 or 4 per page, and it will print the whole invoice on 1 page. Okay. Let's see. Even as a buyer, they may want to save the packing sheet to refer back to how much they spent, taxes. Yeah, they may. But again, it does get emailed to them, or you can look at them on your thing. If I have a customer that requests it, absolutely, I will send the whole thing. So Beach Shop, I use a brand that's VEVOR, Vevor, but all of the generic ones that have good ratings on Amazon are going to be about the same difference. Just make sure it has good ratings. And honestly, I don't recommend the brands that you have to buy their labels. I recommend the ones that you can buy the generic labels, because I can go on Amazon and have a subscription to the generic labels that are automatically delivered for cheaper, and then it gives you a better price on those for subscription, and they fit all of the main brands. If you do a brand that requires you to buy their brand of labels, you're going to be spending a lot more, and those brands are the ones that have like a little wheeled tracking thing that the labels have to fit onto. You have to buy those kind of labels. So I don't like those printers. Yeah, and do get Bluetooth if you're going to want to be able to print from your mobile. because it'll make it a lot faster. But yeah, so just go to Amazon, search for thermal label printers, find one that has a lot of good reviews, and get the one that can fit the generic labels. And the generic labels are it's just a pack of like 500 in a little box that comes to you. Get it on subscription once you get your volume up to sales, and you can get a little bit cheaper price on those. Yeah. Let's see. And message me if you want the direct link to the labels that I buy on Amazon. They're the cheapest ones I've found. Just message me on here and I can send you the link. Probably you'd have to send me your email though, because they don't let you put links outside of Whatnot anymore. So yeah, message me if you want that, because I'll be happy to respond. Let's see. I use the automatic shipping that Whatnot selects, and it chooses priority and ground, not flat rate. So Hannah, that's because that's how you have your shipping settings set. Okay, and you can change them. So if you don't like how the default shipping settings are set, you need to go up in and update it. Okay, so if you want to be able to offer reduced shipping, you need to go in and change that. So Shipping 101 is pinned. Make sure you screenshot all those pages and go set it up how it works for you, not what the default is in there. Because I think that's the default, is the priority and ground advantage. Now, if that's working for you, then that's fine. Okay. But you can toggle on flat rate. And the advantage of using flat rate, if you can, is free boxes. You can use some free boxes for priority too, but free packaging all day long, I'm all for that if you can make it work. Okay. So, and flat rate, the beauty of flat rate is the 70-pound thing. If it fits, it ships up to 70 pounds, and priority, not so much. It maxes out at the 5 pounds, and then they start paying ground advantage. So from a customer perspective, from a buyer's perspective, I'm going to want to go to shows that offer flat rate reduced shipping if possible, if you can do it. If we haven't selected flat rate before the show, like we use the automatic shipping, can you toggle it on? Yes, and I showed you how to do that, right? Okay. All right, let me catch up in the chat. Yes, you can use the flat rate after the fact just by toggling it on, how I showed you in your shipping settings. Just toggle it on and choose the package. But that's if it fits, okay? And keep in mind that if it charged the person for ground advantage, the bummer is they might get that flat rate package and realize they got overcharged. So be careful about that, because you don't want to toggle that on if they paid more than $9.21 for shipping and you now put it in a flat rate box. Then as a buyer, I might be like, hey, wait a minute, I got charged $13 and I should have only gotten charged $9.21 if you're sending this in a flat rate package. So if you are usually able, here's my basic: if 85% or 90%, somewhere in that, whatever your comfort range is, of what you sell is going to fit in flat rate boxes, packages, you should be using the settings 1 to 5 pounds, flat rate, 5 pounds and over, flat rate, buyer pays max $9.21, because that's the best thing for the buyers, and you get that reduced shipping little thing on your shows. Okay. And then you can just use the flat rate packaging 90% of the time. And then on those few occasions where they buy too much, then you unbundle it and you use one of your 5 adjustments. Okay. If what you sell is not going to fit in flat rate package, then your shipping settings should be 1 to 5 pounds, priority 5 pounds and over, ground advantage. Yeah. Yeah. So most people who sell vintage and antiques and stuff, it doesn't work for them. And that's fine. It's the reality of what you sell. Okay. Can you refund buyer if you shipped lower? No. They don't. Whatnot is not. They go based on what settings you had in there, and they will not refund buyers that I have experienced. They will just come back and tell you, we charged them what you had set in there. So make sure you have it set for how it's going to work. What's the best mailers to buy for the money? The ones that you can find the cheapest that are strong enough. That's the truthful answer. I buy some plain black strong ones on Amazon. That's what I found is the best ones that I can buy there. And that's what I send my ground advantage under a pound stuff in, if it's not, fragile and doesn't need to be in a box. So, yeah. Can I share a Whatnot gal who teaches classes step by step on live show with PowerPoint? Yes. Beach shop? Sure, you can. I just wonder if I can use flat rate with Whatnot. Oh, we already answered that. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, who is it that does step by step on PowerPoint? Does she do it on here? She does a live show on here with PowerPoint. Let's see. Can I ask about payouts? Is there a way to have payouts directly into PayPal? So Dove Girl, yes and no. Yes, if you were already on here and already had PayPal, then you're grandfathered in for PayPal. If you weren't, then no. The only option is Stripe, and that will pay directly into your bank account. So PayPal is no longer an option for new people coming into the app. It used to be. And if you already had it set up, it's grandfathered in, but I would count on it eventually going away. And there's some downsides to PayPal. So the gal who teaches the shipping class is Discount Hustlers. Okay, so Discount Hustlers. So she does a step-by-step PowerPoint shipping class. Okay, awesome. So thanks for sharing that. All right, how do you know what they have paid for shipping? It shows you right in the when you go to ship, it shows right in the, and again, Colbert, I'm going to try not to show your address here. So here's that listing I was showing you earlier. See, she bought one item. Here's the shipping she paid right there. $4.80. Okay. It shows you that on each line. So if they bought multiple items and I have my shipping setting set for max, buyer pays max $9.21, it will incrementally show what it charged up to the $9.21. And then the multiple items, it will show it zeroed out. Let me see if I can show you one in my other show that I have shipped today. Let's see. Oh, well, here's this one showing up now. Okay. But, oh, that's not going to be multiple items, though. Okay, let me show you in this one. Let me scroll over so it does not show their name. Hang on. Okay. So here's some of my orders from yesterday. So see this person right here bought 5 items. See the 5 right there? 28-ounce total. See 000 shipping on those last 3 items because she met her max on the first 2. It charged her $509 and $412. Okay, so that's where it showed she met her max. Okay. Oh, so she has a Facebook page too called Whatnot 101. Oh, that's awesome. Very cool. So yeah, everybody should probably go check that out. Okay, so that's where it shows you what they paid for shipping. So here's someone that bought one item. That's what they got charged for shipping. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, very cool. Let's see. I know the answer, but would love to hear you answer this common question. What if a buyer asks a seller for a refund on purchase? So if you get a message from someone asking for a refund, so like they already got the item, because if they didn't get it and you haven't shipped it, okay, so they already got the item and they're asking for a refund. So you personally cannot even do that at this point. So you need to refer them to customer service. So you need to ask, I mean, if it's something you can try to fix, they're not happy about, I would try by giving good customer service. So, if they're asking you for a refund, you say, "Oh, what happened? Or why aren't you happy?" Whatever. If it's something, if they're saying it got damaged, it got lost, it wasn't what you were supposed to send them, then you need to try and make it right if you can. So you can't refund them anyway. They have to go through customer service to get that right. So if it got damaged, refer them to customer service, tell them they're going to need to show pictures, and customer service can file a claim and maybe get them reimbursed, right? If it's because you accidentally sent the wrong item, you need to fix it. You need to either send them the item they should have gotten, or you need to give them a coupon, or you need to say, yes, I'll try and work with Whatnot to get you a refund. And they have to personally contact them and then go through that process, right? Okay. But they need to show proof of that. So you need to be able to, have them go through that process. But make sure you're nice and offer good customer service. And if you did screw up, make it right. It makes more sense to make it right if you did screw up. Okay? Because I've done that with customers and they come back and they buy more because I cared enough to try and make it right. Now, if you feel like it's someone trying to scam you, then, have them go through customer service and they will have to show proof and so on and so on. Okay. But yeah, and there are scammy people. I don't know what to tell you about the scammy people. But just tell them they have to show proof that it, got damaged or it got lost or whatever. And then they can go through that process. And most people, when you start to show that they're going to have to do some work, they'll drop it if they're scammy, because they'll drop it. They don't want to go through the hassle of trying to show pictures and show proof that something happened. Okay. Let's see. Crystal, you'll have to check in this because I'm waiting on payout for my first show just a few days ago. Okay. Will shipping be combined for auction items and bin items during a show? Yes. Unless you sell something that you have put in as a custom profile that ships separately, it will bundle everything that they buy in the auction and in the buy it now during the show. And the only time things get unbundled specifically is if someone buys so much and you have your shipping settings set for it to unbundle at a certain weight, then it will do that. Or if you have a custom profile that has something set to ship separately, it will unbundle it. But otherwise, it will all be bundled. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see. Any other questions? All right, let's review really quick before we take off what your homework is, and make sure did everybody get these 2 pages screenshotted? And again, the link for this is in the show notes. So I would love for you to copy that, screenshot the link, and actually go to the link, because the advantage of the link is that it takes you to this, and it has actual links in the thing that you can click, to go look stuff up. So take a screenshot of this in the show notes. So in the show notes, it's the very first thing in there. Tips and tricks for attracting and keeping buyers in your show. Okay. So screenshot it, and also screenshot that link so that you can go there live. I just pinned it back in, so it's pinned in there if you need to screenshot that. So go back in. So just click that document again right here. Boom. Click it again, make it big, and screenshot those 2 pages. Okay. And then use the link in the show notes to actually go there live, so that actually I can pin the link in my YouTube after the show. So after the show, I'll go in the comments on YouTube and pin the link for this so that you can then get it there. Okay, but we can't do live links in the show notes. We've actually requested that, so hopefully they'll add that soon so that it's just clickable, and then you can click it, go there on a different tab, and save it. So, but yeah, they're working on that. Okay. Yeah, so go to YouTube. I'll put it there after the show for sure. Okay. And so your homework. So your homework is to choose a show that you have scheduled that is at least 24 hours out, and you're going to add a better thumbnail and a better title. I want you to try and work on your thumbnail to see if you can improve it in any way, and your title. And you're also going to add a video at least 24 hours before that show goes live. So thumbnail, title, and video. And I showed you how to do a video. So you just edit show. So you edit the show that you want to add the video to. So open a show. You click the 3 dots. And you edit show. And then you scroll down to next to your thumbnail. And you're going to add a video right here. Okay. And then I want you to tell me if that made a difference. The video needs to be what you're selling. So you can either come on and, tell people what you're going to sell and show a few things. You can show your shelf. You can show, specifically some of the items that you're going to sell. You can show some pictures of things. Do something fun. Videos are very short clips, 10 seconds to like 20 seconds. So very short clip. All right, you are so welcome. Let's see. If you do get scammed and there's nothing you can do, let it go. Educate others on it, but don't let it change how you treat others. Yes, exactly. Because, Crystal, you want to keep good customer service. It really does make a difference. It makes a huge difference how you treat all of your buyers. And that one scammer, you just have to let it go. Now, what you can do is block them. So if you have someone that bought from you and scammed you, absolutely block them so they can't do it again. Block them, report them. Please report them so that Whatnot can investigate if they're doing it to other sellers. Okay. All right. Now, so that's your homework. And then your homework is also to watch at least 10 other shows that you've never been to before. Pick new shows you've never been to, and you're going to write down why did I want to stay, or why did I stay, and why did I leave? Write those down because that's going to help you learn why you leave and stay in shows and what you can do differently to make people want to stay in your show. Okay. And then we talked today about making ordinary things extraordinary. What can you do to make your shows, your items, everything you do, change it from ordinary to extraordinary? What can you do? And I gave you some examples of that today. If you missed those, go rewatch the show on YouTube. And my YouTube is in the show notes. Please go subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can rewatch and watch again shows that you might have missed. What was I a teacher? Sort of. So I have a degree in health and health promotion. And for about 10 years, I was a corporate trainer at a company, an insurance company, and I trained all the employees on how to use our computer systems and how to do their jobs in all different aspects. So yes, I do have that kind of background. All right, so yes, Draz on Whatnot is my YouTube channel, and you are so welcome. All right, we're going to do one of the things that is free for you to do to be able to improve your following, improve people coming to your shows, and that is rating. Okay, rating. We're going to go raid, and I'm going to, everybody, take a second to make sure you pin all of the, or not pin, screenshot all of the things in my auction tab. So just go into the shop, click the little shop, and in the auction tab in the shop are all the documents that we use. So all the documents that I share are in that auction tab. Just go into each one and click the pictures and screenshot them. Okay. While I do find someone to raid. What does it mean when you're setting up a show and it asks you what your max discount is supposed to be? When you're setting up a show and it asks you what your max discount is supposed to be. I'm flummoxed. Because when you add a show, when you're creating a show, is what you're saying, when you're scheduling a show. So if I schedule a show, or are you talking about listing an item? Oh, for reduced shipping or rewards program. Maybe. I'm not sure. Dawn, you're going to have to be more specific because I'm not sure which thing you're referring to. Okay, I'm going to go look to see who we're going to raid into. Try and be more specific with that so I can try and answer it. And I know who we're going to raid. And I'll tell you why. Okay, we're going to raid into Oh, It's Bananas. Oh, It's Bananas is a person who came onto Whatnot about, I think she has her 1-year anniversary coming up in a few months. And she came onto the app and started coming to my shows, and she followed all my top 10 tips to the T. She started doing all the things you need to do, and she has now, let me just tell you her stats, 7.5K followers, and she has sold 10.8K items in less than a year. Okay, and in fact, I think I don't know when her 1 year. Let me see if she has a 1 year. I think it's still like 5 months out or something. So she hasn't been on that long. Sorry, time kind of goes fast for me. So I want you to watch her She shows up. She is consistent, and she's selling in women's contemporary, which is a very hard category to break into nowadays. Okay, that's who we're going to raid. She's awesome. She's here in Utah. I've met her in person. She's adorable. And so that's who we're going to go raid. All right. Did I get let's see. Yes, when you're creating an item, it has you list the price and then asks max discount and asks you to put a percentage in. Oh, that's for flash sales. So Dawn, that's only specifically for flash sales. So you don't have to do flash sales if you don't want to. So when you're creating an item, if you're just putting in the regular price and everything and you don't turn a flash sale on, that's only for flash sales. So go look up in frequently asked questions what flash sales are. That's what those are for when you're listing an item. Okay. All right, let's get ready to raid. You guys give Oh It's Bananas bananas. That's her thing in the chat, but I'm going to tell you to do it because it's kind of a way to say we're here for you. So put bananas in the chat for Oh It's Bananas. She'll know who rated her. And here we go. Going over to Oh It's Bananas as a good example of someone who brings it, shows up consistently, and is an amazing seller. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Please bookmark my upcoming shows. Again, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Draz on Whatnot, all lowercase. And I am going to put the link to the attracting buyers in the comments on YouTube. So you'll have that link. All right, see you soon. Bananas.